Cross-examination.
Right away, we're in cross-examination territory. This is where things get surgical. The defense isn't just asking questions. They're testing credibility, consistency, and looking for cracks. Watch closely. Every yes ma'am matters.
Good afternoon, Mr. Garcia.
Excuse me?
I said good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I just want to make sure I understood your testimony. It was your testimony that the first trip you came up on, you scoped out Mr. Markell's house, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And that he was going to be taking his kids to school, so when he came out with the kids, you're trying to follow him to the school, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you got lost. He lost you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the second time that you came up, you knew he was going to be taking the children to school, and so you followed him to the school.
Notice the strategy here. This is called boxing the witness in. The attorney is walking him step by step to the timeline, so there's no wiggle room later. If he contradicts any part of this later, that's credibility damage.
Correct?
The daycare, yes.
Yes. And then you knew he was going to be going to the gym, right?
I didn't know he was going to the gym. I just followed him.
You followed him to the gym.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you followed him to his house.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's where he was killed.
Yes, ma'am.
And the woman who wanted him to be killed.
And there it is, the bombshell, directly naming the alleged mastermind. This is huge because in criminal law, linking the person who ordered the crime is often harder than proving who carried it out. Do you think this testimony alone is enough to convince a jury?
Past you and Sigfredo and Katie, the woman who wanted him to be killed was Wendi Adelson, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
It was she wanting her children, correct?
Absolutely.
Quick slip up with the name, but don't underestimate moments like that. Jurors notice everything. Still, the focus shifts immediately to physical evidence. This exhibit is about to visually lock in the witness's claims.
Mr. Garcia, I'm going to show you what
Mr. Rivera.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I apologize. Mr. Rivera, I'm going to show you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 50.
This is all about consistency. In court, if your story today matches what you said earlier under oath, that boosts reliability. If not, your entire testimony can unravel. The attorney is quietly reinforcing trust here.
Could you take a look at that and tell me if you recognize that?
Yeah.
And what is that?
Like a profile of everybody's face.
Okay. And did you make some marks on this for me and then sign it on March the 11th of 2025?
Yes, I did.
You just hold on to that for a second. Mr. Rivera, when we met with you that day taking your deposition, and I presented that to you, you gave us information about what had happened, pretty similar to what you talked about here today, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And when we were done talking about those things and some information about Sigfredo and Katie,
This visual identification exercise is powerful. It turns abstract testimony into something tangible. The witness is literally mapping out the roles in the crime. For a jury, that can be incredibly persuasive. But here's the real question. Is this first-hand truth or a narrative shaped over time?
presented you with what's in front of you as Defendant's Exhibit 50, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And I asked if you would put the number 1 and circle it next to the person you know as Katie, who you said was in charge of this whole deal, correct?
Yep.
And did you do that?
Yep.
All right. And then I said, would you put a number 2 next to the person you say did this killing?
Yes.
And you did that, correct?
Yes, I did.
And that was Sigfredo Garcia.
Yes, ma'am.
The first one was Katie Magbanua, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then I said, would you put a number 3 next to yourself on the paper? And did you do that?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're the one who got the gun that was used to kill Danny Markell, and you drove the car that day. You didn't shoot him, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then I said, if you would, please put the number 4 next to the man who was killed, and you did that with Danny Markell, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then I said, if you would, put the number 5 next to the lady that wanted the man killed. And did you do that?
Yes, I did.
And was that with Wendi Adelson?
Yes, I did.
And then I asked you if the 2 people on the top of the page who have their pictures there and the names Donna Adelson and Harvey Adelson, you see those on the top?
Yes, ma'am.
I asked you, as far as you know, were they involved in any of this? And you said no, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So I asked you to put X's next to the people who on that page were not involved in this.
Yes, ma'am.
And you did that.
Yes, I did.
Thank you. Just one moment, Your Honor.
Take your time.
I don't have anything further.
Redirect examination.
No, Your Honor.
Is Mr. Rivera released or will he be recalled?
He's to remain under the rule, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Rivera, please do not discuss your testimony with anyone else. The bailiff will take you at this time. Parties can approach. The jury, at this time, we are going to go into recess for the day. The same instruction that you have received since the start of jury selection, not to discuss the case with anyone else or to look at any information about the case. Once again, I'm going to remind you of this. Please report on Monday morning at 8:45. We will anticipate getting started by 9 o'clock. Enjoy your weekend. We will see you Monday.